How do you start your morning? Between August and November 1888, Jack the Ripper killed 5 women that we know of. He's suspected of more, but it's up for debate as killing sex workers was just as British as fish and chips in the Victorian era. Whoever the fuck this guy was, he didn't just snuff out life with a knife. He mutilated and humiliated women in a crime spree that sparked fear into an entire gender. Okay, before we go any further, we need to set the scene. Life in Whitechapel, London was almost unimaginable by modern-day standards. Malnutrition and disease were common. Only 50% of children lived to see the age of 5. If you were lucky enough to land a job, you were exploited for long hours for next to nothing. For unemployed men, there wasn't much to do besides smoking, spitting, fist-fighting, coin flipping, and leaning against dilapidated buildings for hours on end. Gangs of unemployed child chimney sweepers roamed the streets, robbing and stealing anything they could get their hands on. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Kids? Who gives a shit? Just kick them in the shins or something. Easier said than done. Kids back then had more life experience than you or I'll get in a lifetime. Just look at these little bastards. The average 6-year-old could hire, fire, beat up your dad, and fuck your mom on a slow Tuesday. Anyway, throw a sadistic killer into the mix, and you should have a pretty good idea of what life was like in Whitechapel in the 1880s. This is one of the most famous cases in the world. No one knows who the killer is, but there's a lot of theories. Theory number 1, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. A lot of people believe the killer was a rogue doctor or someone with a medical background. You know when you go to see a doctor because you have a headache, and he just cuts your face off and eviscerates you? If this guy was a doctor, he must have slept through the class where they covered the Hippocratic Oath. Joseph Mengele had more restraint. Theory 2, the non-kosher Jew. A killer with medical training was just one of the many suspicions. In reality, everyone was a suspect, mainly Jews and Polacks. But hey, they were foreign and weird looking.
He doesn't look like me.
But I don't know about this one. Are humans kosher?
It is damn hard to know what's kosher.
Let me know in the comments below. The unemployed butcher. Okay, for these theories to make sense, you have to understand the killer's MO, because it was fucking disgusting. We're talking about a slit throat followed by extensive abdominal and genital mutilation, the removal of internal organs, and facial mutilations. He even removed and pickled half of a human kidney. How do we know that? Because he mailed the other half to police along with what's arguably the most infamous letter ever received by law enforcement in criminal history.
I sent you the kidney I took from one woman, preserved it for you. The other piece I fried and ate. It was very nice. I may send you the bloody knife that took it out, if you only wait a while longer.
Okay, so the Jewish killer theory is out of the question. Human kidneys? Definitely not kosher. Maybe the killer was an aspiring plastic surgeon or the owner and operator of like a hedge trimming business. You know, those big fucking garden shears? I don't know. Maybe he was the inventor of the lawnmower.
Party's over.
Okay, let's see. Who invented the lawnmower? Okay, so the lawnmower was invented in 1830 by Edwin Beard Budding of Stroud, England. Okay, so like the date checks out, and he was English. Stroud, though, I want to pull this on a map. How far is that from London? Okay, you know what? I'm going to set it to bicycle speed. They weren't like driving around back then. Okay, so 11 hours. I mean, it's doable. But let's just see. Let's see if I can find a picture of this guy quick. Edwin Beard Budding. Yo! Fucking case closed. Look at this guy. I mean, come on, who took this photograph? Is he still alive? Imagine this guy propositioning you for like a blowjob in a dimly lit back alley. The sex workers probably paid him to keep his pants on. Was he the inspiration for that horror movie about simple Jack dude who mowed lawns and went on a murder spree?
The Lawnmower Man.
Oh. Never mind. He died in 1846. Moving on. The From Hell letter was disturbing enough, but it was the Dear Boss letter where the killer introduced himself to the world.
Dear boss, I keep on hearing the police have caught me, but they won't fix me just yet. I have laughed when they look so clever and talk about being on the right track. I love my work and want to start again. My knife's so nice and sharp. I want to get to work right away if I get a chance. Good luck. Yours truly, Jack the Ripper.
Listen, dude. You can't go around choosing your own nickname.
Don't mind me giving the trade name.
It sucks, but it's just part of life. I was in high school once. People can be mean, I get it.
O'Doyle rules.
You want to have a cool sounding nickname. But do you know what would happen to me if I chose my own nickname?
I am down on whores and shan't quit ripping them till I do get buckled.
See, now that's how you do it. Stick with text like this, and the nickname will just come naturally. Sign the letter as Jack, and the media will put 2 and 2 together without you coming across as desperate. Throughout the autumn, the police and local press received hundreds of letters. The vast majority are deemed to be fakes, but many ripperologists, talk about giving yourself your own nickname, believe that the From Hell letter and the Dear Boss are the real thing. The hunt was on. Local butchers, slaughterers, surgeons, and physicians collectively shit their pants. Eventually, a £500 reward was offered for the arrest of the Ripper. And they had some good suspects too, like this guy, Montague Druitt. Fuck, we don't name him like we used to. That's a rad name. He was a lawyer and teacher with an interest in surgery, but he went insane and disappeared after the final murders. They found him later, but unfortunately, he was dead. Then there was Michael Ostrov. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but hey. This guy was a Russian criminal and physician who spent time locked up in an asylum because of his homicidal tendencies. A homicidal Russian criminal and physician? That reminds me of Herman Mudgett, aka H.H. Holmes. Weren't there background checks back then? The last prime suspect was Aaron Kosminski, a Polish Jew and local Whitechapel resident. He wasn't a doctor or anything, but he ticked both boxes. Jewish, Polish. There's no doubt that the press played a pivotal role in creating the public image of Jack the Ripper. And, like everyone else, they had one suspect in mind. The few eyewitness reports labeled the killer as a man with dark complexion, black beard, and black coat, who was foreign-looking. Oh. I see what you're going for there. Jack the Ripper attacked his final victim on November 9th, 1888. And you can tell he wanted the entire world to know it was his handiwork. I don't want to go into the details, but it was by far his most sinister and grisly killing. Trust me on this one. The Ripper's final victim was one of the early subjects of crime scene photography. But it was all over in just a matter of months. Just as quickly as he appeared, he was gone, never to be heard from again. Most serial killers don't stop killing until they're caught. So what happened? Ripperologists have their theories. Death, imprisonment, emigration, and the good old Victorian favorite, institutionalization. But whatever happened to him, only one thing is for certain. There was always somebody else ready to take his place. And the list goes on and on. Thanks, asshole. So, what do you think? Was Jack the Ripper actually an unemployed 6-year-old chimney sweep with the strength of 10 men? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to unalive that subscribe button and click that notification bell because we've got new killer content dropping all the time. And if you just can't get enough, you can even head over and follow on Instagram and TikTok for even more killer content.